Welcome into the second episode of the spring semester of Jacket Sports Weekly. You might have noticed we're in a different location. It's because it snowed. We're going to get creative here today, and we have a segment coming up here with our analyst, Joe Chirillo, in just a minute, and then we'll throw it to the court for Mia Jenkins and Aiden Blake.
Welcome to Jacket Sports Weekly, Waynesburg University's weekly sports show where we cover the best of the best in athletics. Our analysts discuss a multitude of highlight plays such as touchdown passes.
And Barber's going to throw again, one-on-one. Does he got it in him? That's a catch! Tyler Richmond with flags thrown everywhere makes the catch! Touchdown, Waynesburg!
And ones.
Whistles blow, Waynesburg's gonna get it! Suggs is gonna pull away here, go for the layup, and it's gonna fall in and one! PJ Suggs!
And home runs.
Higgins drives one to left field. The left fielder running back, and that ball is out of here. Grace Higgins.
Join us every Wednesday to see what's new in Waynesburg University Athletics.
And welcome into the first segment of Jacket Sports Weekly. We got kind of an action-packed segment here. We had to get creative, as I mentioned. We got Joe Chirillo up here. Thanks for taking the time to join us outside the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse.
Heck yeah, we're excited. Snowed in edition. I mean, what can be better?
Snowed in edition. We're going to start off talking about this men's wrestling team coming off the match against Penn State Barron. Penn State Barron took this one 50-3. Jesse Orban, the lone win. Talk a little bit about the match.
I mean, in general, for the wrestling team, they've been plagued with injuries and kind of sicknesses as well as they've gone on. Of course, with this colder weather that we've been having, a lot more people are prone to be sick if they're, not taking proper care. A lot of these guys are trying to lose weight, so they're going out, they're sweating a lot more, maybe trying to put on shorts and T-shirts, and that can sometimes be negative affecting on them. And so that's been happening a few times going into this. But Jesse Orban's been able to compete continuously as he has in the past. For Orban, his excellence just continued to go up when he was playing Salvini here for Penn State Barron. It really goes to just show kind of how Pennsylvania wrestling goes and how a lot of people are able to get a lot of momentum out of this wrestling, that it's one of the more popular sports in Pennsylvania right now. And this goes to just show that even in Division III, we can have excellent matchups just like this. Continuing to fight back and forth, getting different positioning and different methods down in the pinning movements really just showed how these two performers just continue to excel, even on teams that sometimes aren't really capable of getting all those points to get a team win out of it.
Yeah, last time we were on Jacket Sports Weekly, we were in our regular setup, but Cole Keller was talking a little bit about how it was going to be a tough match for Jesse Orban. We weren't sure if his win streak was going to continue, but he earned that 8-5 decision over Elliot Salvini, and now we got St. Vincent coming up here on January 29th. Might be the day this uploads, but what can we expect to see against St. Vincent?
Per usual, it's going to be a conference matchup that a lot of different tensions are going to be coming hot into this. When it comes down to the wrestling championships, when it was here in Waynesburg last season, St. Vincent and Waynesburg was kind of bashing heads a little bit. There was a few arguments, but now it's going to go into just a solo-on-solo matchup. In this one, I really think that it's really going to come down to, is Waynesburg going to be healthy and back? Or are they going to be able to put guys into the different weight classes, or are they going to have to continue to forfeit those weight classes throughout their season as they have before? For me, I'm guessing that St. Vincent's going to come out in this one on top just because they've also been the number one team in the conference consistently over the past 2 or 3 years. But Waynesburg is going to continue to put up a fight. Jesse Orban most likely will get a win under his belt as well.
And then for the women's, they're next in action on Sunday, February 1st at the John Carroll Invitationals. What can we expect to see there?
For them, they've been kind of cold lately. They haven't been able to participate in any events other than what's happening down in the Armory here at Waynesburg University, as a lot of their matches have been postponed or canceled due to the inclement weather that we've been having lately. They were going to be going to the Pennsylvania Conference or Pennsylvania State Championships, but they weren't able to go due to the weather that was happening across the state. So for them, I think they're really just excited to get out and still compete, be able to put up numbers. And again, in this case, they don't even have people to put into different weight classes. They just continue to be able to compete where they can.
Thanks for talking about wrestling. Usually I'd throw it to a commercial right about now, but we're going to keep it right here on Jacket Sports Weekly and transition over to track and field. So they had the Muskie meet this past Saturday, first meet of the 2026 calendar year for the indoor teams. What What went on at the Muskie meet?
Well, Waynesburg, mainly when you look at the men's side of it, were led by sophomore Ethan Wilson. In his 1,000-meter race, he placed with a 2:48.44, which added to a 7th place showing in the mile run for him, which was a 4:42.02. Other points with it, you had Michael Waynes, who tied 6th in the 60 meters of a time of 7.36 seconds. Some speed coming off on this team. Dagan Williams, who's a senior, posted a number 8 mark in the 400 meters, while junior Kyle Casella also placed in 3 times of 1:10.45 in the 500-meter dash. A lot of these guys really do like to compete more in the outdoor areas than they do in the indoor, so this is kind of a time for them to just get their body prepped for that outdoor situation. When you look at the women's side, for the women, their biggest highlight came in the courtesy of the 4x200 relay team that was set of a time of 1:51.21. This was led by the foursome of Ella Rochelle, Miracle Hershey, Ella Booth, and Adari Seedles that broke the tape on that race as well.
And then they got a match coming up this Saturday at Youngstown State. We're going to expect to see more of the same?
I would say so. A lot of these guys and girls are going to be coming out competing to the way that they want, not only in indoor, but they're going to be looking towards that outdoor season coming up. A lot of them, more, like I said before, look more forward to that outdoor season. There's a lot more hype and excitement about that season than being stuck inside of a stadium or conference area for them. So I think really just looking towards that, they'll still be able to compete, and they're going to compete well.
And then now over to men's and women's basketball, our third and final segment here on Jacket Sports Weekly, all in this action-packed big segment. But how did each of the two teams fare against Westminster this past Saturday?
Well, the men's side of the ball did not do quite as hot. They did come out with a loss on this side. They were really just troubled with being able to keep up with Westminster's team. Every time that they would go on a run, Westminster would then continue to go back on another run, holding them to like 14-0 at some points. It was really hard for them to get where they needed to be. It was impeccable, though, to see them at the free throw line. They did do very well practicing and coming back from their poor performance at the free throw line in the previous game. They came back and they played quite well at the free throw line. They were able to get more points off of that than they normally have. We'll be talking about that later with Mia Hankins and Aiden Blake, looking at his 88% at the free throw line. But for the men's side, it really just came down to how are they going to be able to rebound off of this. They're now 0-7 in their last 7 games. They need to get a win at some point, especially if they want to get into the playoffs. For the women's side, it looked tough in the first quarter. It really came down to Westminster was really charging the ball and keeping the game under the control that they wanted. But coming to that second quarter, wow, Waynesburg women's team just really came out with a fire under them. They really wanted to come out and get this win, and they did that. 29 points over turnovers and 20 total turnovers in control of this game. Westminster really likes to play with their speed, and Waynesburg's women's was able to take that speed away from them, get a lot of turnovers, get that points off of the turnovers. Jules Moorbacher at the free throw line also got a lot of points under that one. 5 of the Lady Jays were 13 points or more in that game as well. That just continued to spread the wealth throughout.
A lot of double-digit scorers. We got Franciscan here coming up next. We think it's going to be before this episode actually comes out, so let's make some predictions, I guess, for Franciscan.
For my guess, on the men's side of the team is just amazing for Franciscan. There's no doubt in that. The biggest thing, though, to really recognize is that this Waynesburg team is going to want a win. So I think that it'll be competitive, but I'm going to take Franciscan in this one for the men's side. For the women's team, though, Waynesburg is kind of getting back into that win column, and they're getting a lot more of strategy behind them. And I think that's going to really come out well for them. So for the women's team, they're going to come away with the win. For the men's team, I'm taking it with a loss.
Last time the women's played Franciscan, the Waynesburg women's team went on a 34-0 run. I don't know if we'll see that again this time, but that's all we have here on this opening segment of Jacket Sports Weekly. We got a sequel coming up next.
Welcome into Jacket Sports Weekly Snowed In edition. Today we're in the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse. I'm Mia Hankins, and I'm here with Male Athlete of the Week, Aiden Blake, who plays for the Waynesburg men's basketball team. Aiden, you averaged 23.5 points per game and 6 rebounds per game last week. You shot 47% from the floor, 42.9% from 3, and 88.2% from the free throw line. What do you think specifically led you to have your standout week?
I think a big thing was Coach all week was telling me he needs to get me in rhythm when I'm at my best. We're at our best. Casey's been telling me, Goins has been telling me. So really just Coach Fusina and my teammates just telling me to get in rhythm and just get to my spots, be confident, and everything will fall in my hands.
Yeah. So what do you think the best aspect of your game is currently?
I think playing hard. I mean, I don't take a defensive or offensive trip off. I try and play my hardest, not just for myself, but for my team, and especially for my seniors. They only got 8 games left, and I'm trying to do everything I can to help them and help the team make it to the PAC playoffs.
And do you think that effort on both offense and defense will help lead to a win against Franciscan on Wednesday?
Definitely. We lost by double digits last time, but, I mean, we had a couple guys out. I think it's going to be a really good game and one that everybody should be looking forward to.
So now we're going to see if Aiden can make some free throws under pressure because of his 88% free throw percentage last week while answering some of our final questions. So for the next question, your team has had some tough competition within the PAC and outside of the PAC this year. So what do you think that you and your teammates need to do to end the season on a high note?
Well, first, I just think we need to stay healthy. You know, we went on an 0-7 losing streak just because we had some guys out who weren't used to playing with different combinations. I just think if we start winning, if we win 6 out of our last 8 games, we're going to have a great chance of making it to the playoffs. Coach gets us prepared. I think we just need to finish the game.
So then you kind of talked about winning some of your next games. If you win 6 of your next 8 games, you have that chance to make playoffs. So as a team, what motivates you to win those next 6 games and kind of have a comeback season from where you started?
Well, I think what motivates me personally is just my seniors. I mean, we have 5. You can include Jackson if you want, but just the seniors. You know, it's their last run. Scott's been here for 4 years, the rest of them 3 years. I personally want to make playoffs for them and my team.
Thank you very much, Aiden. I appreciate it. I appreciate you making your free throw as well, showing who he is for the Male Athlete of the Week last week. That's going to do it all for Jacket Sports Weekly Snowed In edition, and we will see you next week.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.